Welcome back. Welcome back. Today, you are watching the podcast, Life in the Mirror. And I want to thank you for taking your busy time to watching this video. And I just want to thank you. I was sitting there watching the videos that was going on in Chicago. I'm talking about the teenagers who was all out in the streets, how they was just flipping cars, setting them on fire, looting stores, buildings, and attacking people. And watching that situation, it was bothering me. And the only thing that I can think of at the time, how many of those teenagers have a father at home or a father in their life? I'm talking about a good father. And I was just wondering, how many of those children, those teenagers out there who was doing what they was doing, causing havoc, how many of them have a father at home or a father in their life? It would just bother me just watching this. Now, my topic today is going to be about fatherless homes. Again, fatherless homes. Now, what is the fatherless rate in America, in the United States? In 2021, 18.4 million children was out of father at home. 18.4 million of the children who lived at home, their father weren't at home. Now, why are the fathers absent from the homes? You have, let me give you some good examples. Parents who are divorced, separated, family poverty, and parent alienation. Now, let's go a little deeper in this topic, why fathers are absent from home. One good example is, say if it's a guy father, I mean a guy just out there having a bunch of kids, sleeping with different women, and not being responsible for the kid. I always heard this saying, any guy can have a baby, create a baby, but it takes a man to raise a child. Any guy can go around sleeping with different kind of women, having all different kind of baby mamas, but it takes a man to raise that child. That's another reason why the father is absent. Now let's look on the opposite side. Just say like a mother keeping the father away from the child, away from the house. Now, let me look at this now. Now, if it's a father is a threat to the child or a threat to the mother, and it's no good, I understand why the mother is keeping the father away. Now, if a father is a good father, I can understand why would you keep a father. Now, I can see something happen between you and the father, some bad circumstances. But if the father is still a good father, you should still keep that father in the child's life. Now, what happens to a child without a father? Now, what happened to a child? Most likely, they would grow up being poor. They will become involved in drugs and alcohol. They will be dropouts in school. They will struggle from emotional and health problems. Again, let me read that again. More likely, they'll grow up poor. Not always, not all the time. They will become involved with drugs and alcohol abuse, drop out of school, struggle from emotional and struggle problems. Now, let me break this down to you. Now, because you don't have a father home, don't mean these things are going to happen. But having a father at home, and even if he's not at home, but he's still in your life, the father's still in your life, this kind of prevent some of these things, especially emotional and health problems. I mean, just say if the father's, just say like I broke it down, like the father who just having a bunch of kids, but not in the kid's life. I mean, they just no good. Just say if it's a daughter or a son, they looking for somebody to protect them and love them and guide them. But the male figure that's supposed to be in their life, their father, biological father, is not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So sometimes the kids will look up to any male to take that life for them, to guide them. And even if it's a bad person, this person is showing me attention. Now, is it better for a child to have both parents in the household? Research shows that children who grows up with both biological parents in a low conflict marriage are better in a normal way than children who are with single home or step parents household. Now, don't get me wrong. Because you grow up in a single home or you grow up with somebody, a stepfather or stepfather, doesn't mean you cannot grow into a responsible adult. Don't get me wrong. Now, let me show you something that it said. It said parents in a low conflict marriage. When I read that, it just hit me. It said parents in a low conflict marriage. Let me give an example. Now, the two biological, the mother and the father, arguments is they're going to happen. You can't prevent that. You know what I'm saying? One parent might see one way and another parent might see another. You can't prevent that. But what I want to say is, especially if the kids are watching the situation, at the end, do the parents show the kids how to compromise in that situation? Do the parents show them how to make up and say, you know what, we're just gonna have to disagree with this situation. I mean, we're gonna have to come to a compromise and come to the middle of this situation. Do the kids see that? Do the kids see the parents like, all right, yes, my parents argue, but they not making this a crazy household? It's just, do you present that a low conflict marriage, especially if a kid grow up that the marriage is not low conflict? That's going to affect the kid. The kid gonna be like, I don't know if I want to be in that type of situation. It's going to conflict emotional and health. Even though you have two parents at home, biological, the mother and the father, the, you know, if it's a good situation, 9 out of 10 the kid's going to grow up in a good situation because of the environment. Now, just like I said, because you grew up in a single home or a stepfather or the father is not at home, do not mean the kid cannot grow up and be a responsible adult. But 9 out of 10, especially when the kids grow up two biological families, it helps more in the situation. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Let me tell you a story. I remember when I first moved to this town, and when I moved to this town, there was a bunch of young males, teenagers. I think it was between 7 to 10 of them. We grew up. We moved to this neighborhood, and one thing that I realized, the 7 to 10, they didn't have a father at home, or the father wasn't in their life, or they didn't even know their father. And a lot of these males, young teenager males, were angry about the situation and how they came to me looking for me to be that male figure, that positive male figure in their life. So I think I was around the age of 21, between 21, 23, somewhere around there. And how I had to mold these young males to be responsible teenagers, to grow up to be responsible adults. How I had to teach them about education and how to treat others correctly and how to treat themselves correctly and how to be disciplined. And just watching that situation and watching they would grow when they went to high school and things like that. I remember how the mothers of these boys, when they came to me and they said, thank you for being in my child's life. My son was a very angry person. But when you came into their life and you became a mentor to them, it changed their life and it changed their point of view of how they view things. Now, again, I just want to thank you for taking your time of watching this video. God bless.